Hey Pitmasters, what is up? Today we're going to be comparing a T-bone steak to a bone-in ribeye. I've got these two beautiful Dutch cuts of beef, and one is a T-bone and one is a ribeye with the bone on it. It's more like, they call it côte de boeuf, but they're both 400 grams. And the question is, which one would you choose? Look at the size difference of these two. The T-bone looks way better than this ribeye. The ribeye bone-in, it just looks small, but let's take a closer look at it. Look at the marbling that we get on this ribeye. It looks absolutely amazing. And I can already see from how dark the meat actually is that it's been aging for quite a while. The T-bone meat is much leaner. And I'm just curious, if we grill these two up, which one would be best? Let's fire up the barbecue. It's getting cold. Put in some fire starters, light them up, put the chimney starter on top, and now we'll put in our Kamado Joe big block. This is what normally happens. It just comes at once. Before we start grilling our steaks, I first want to prepare the side dishes because these steaks are gonna be done really quick. I want to blanch these Brussels sprouts first. Don't turn off the video now. These are Brussels sprouts, they're not gonna kill you. They're actually healthy and I'm gonna make them taste good for you. Now we're going to work on our sauce. I'm going to start with garlic. Maybe two. So basically, depending on how much you like your garlic, you add either 1 or 2 cloves. Now we'll chop fine some capers. And we'll chop fine some parsley.
Yeah, the good stuff right there.
Yes, this is the good stuff. I'm just gonna put in a little bit of olive oil into a hot pan. And we don't want the pan to be too hot. We just want the flavors to come out of the ingredients. Then we'll put in our garlic, our fine chopped capers, and our parsley. That smell is amazing. Wow, this is gonna be so super tasty. We just want it to turn soft and then it's done. This is something new that I want to try. It's anchovies paste. Never had it before. Hope it's good. Whoa, that is some powerful stuff. Fantastic. Hey, let go. Well, this took only around 30 seconds or so. We don't want to overcook it, we just want the flavors to come out. Now we're going to crispen up some pancetta. Our Brussels sprouts are ready. They've been cooked for around 5 minutes, or blanched is the right word actually. And we're not actually looking for the Brussels sprouts, but we're looking for the leaves. The pancetta is crispy, we'll get it out. Now we have that beautiful rendered down pancetta fat in our pan. Why not put some mushrooms in it? Our pancetta fried mushrooms are done. We'll take them out of the pan and place them on the paper. Now we'll put the tomatoes in the pancetta fat. Let them turn soft and roast until they get a nice crunch on the outside. We'll put the charcoal baskets in and then put in our charcoal. We want to get a little bit of extra charcoal in there just to make sure that we've got enough heat to sear those steaks. We'll put the grill grates in and let the barbecue come up to temperature. The tomatoes need a few more minutes. We'll put on a little bit of salt and pepper. There we go. A little bit of pepper. And we'll just let them go for a few more minutes while we start grilling our steak. Our T-bone steak looks about done. It's really thin, so we're taking it off the grill. While the T-bone steak is resting, we'll sprinkle on a little bit of salt. Our bone-in ribeye actually needs a lot longer because it's way thicker than the T-bone. The tomatoes are done, and because the ribeye is so thick, I want to check on the temperature. And we still have a few more degrees to go, so we're going to place it over indirect heat, and we'll close the lid. Waiting cheese. A waiting present. Our ribeye steak is done. We're taking it off the grill. Now you can see if you're grilling a thicker steak, you got more time to build up a crust. Let's sprinkle on some salt as well. And while our steaks are resting, we can start building up our plate. We'll quickly warm up this plate in our grill. Just like 30 seconds or so, just to get it up to temperature and it doesn't let our food turn cold. We'll start by creating a base layer of what I would call our sauce. And we don't need too much of it, the flavor is quite extreme. Now we'll start building up with our tomatoes, some leaves of our Brussels sprouts, our fried mushroom. Time to start slicing into our steak. It's been waiting long enough. This is my favorite moment. Wow, look at that. Super tender. Before we start doing our taste test, I just want to build up our plate first. Our meat still looks good, and when you leave it out, it just, you know, it becomes less attractive. So we'll do that first and taste test later. A little bit of sauce on top, and of course some crispy pancetta. A little bit of Parmesan cheese, and our plate is done. So while we've been plating up, our steak changed color. Look at that. Let me just slice off, if there's some meat still left, look at the color change that's there. That is why if you want to serve your steak sliced on the table, you do it quickly in front of the people. Taste test. This steak has a good bit of flavor. Oh, give it a try. Come on. It's good quality beef, yeah, but it became so much better when they dry aged it to this level. This has been over 42 days for sure. Yeah. Really good stuff. Well, we're pretending here there's not another steak on my plate. Let's slice into that as well. This is my son's favorite part. Just to chew the meat off this bone. That's always fantastic. Let's slice into this. Let's give it a try. This steak is definitely grass-fed. It's been dry aged, but not as much as the other steak. But the thing is, where is the comparison between a thick cut of steak like the ribeye bone in or the T-bone? They weigh actually the same, but you order one of these and you gotta figure out which one you want. The crust on our T-bone is way less because it's thinner. We can cook it for a shorter period of time. If I cooked it even further, then it would be overcooked.
Which one do you actually choose?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the ribeye. It has that amazing marbling. It has a good amount of fat in there. But I also like the different cut because the cut was thicker. I was able to get more crust on it. It retained the juices better. I'm gonna go with the ribeye with the bone on. Well, you should give the other one a try.
I'm going for the first one.
Ribeye.
Yeah.
Definitely ribeye. Now, let's feast on this plate. Should I use a fork?
You never use a fork.
That's right. Well, I know what ribeye tastes like. I want to make a combination. Now we made a beautiful plate and we got what is more of a tapenade instead of a sauce. Got some mushrooms there fried in the pancetta. Got a beautiful tomato which turned soft and caramelized. Just want to put this in my mouth and see what the combination of flavors actually does. There we go. Wow. This is really good. You know, you might not like anchovies, you might not like capers, but if you put it in a dish like this, it works really, really well. It's just something that kind of like works really well with a good steak. I just want to feed the camera, man. Now give that a try. Yeah? Makes you smile, eh? Nice. Really tasty. I like the roasted tomatoes, but you like the cheese, the Parmesan cheese. This does a lot for the umami flavors.
It has everything in it. It has crunch. steak has different kind of flavors.
I think we had a good steak fest. We had a comparison which is actually a real life comparison. These decisions is what you gotta make when you're in the butcher shop. You're gonna go for the ribeye, you're gonna go for the T-bone. What are you going to choose? I recommend choosing the thicker cut with a better marbling. Then you're always in the right position. I'd love to know which steak you guys would have chosen. Let me know down below in the comments. And while you're there, leave me a big thumbs up on this video. I want to say big thank you to all our patrons and our YouTube members. See you guys in the next video. Until then, eet smakelijk and keep on grilling.